I know sex in a marriage is important, but can it ever become sinful?
Okay.
Here's a question for you. Is marriage overrated?
Why aren't people getting married anymore?
A new Pew Research poll found that 2 in 5 young adults think marriage is an outdated tradition.
Marriage rates are at their lowest right now.
Is marriage really even worth it?
More than half of marriages end in divorce.
If you get married, you have to be stuck with this person for the rest of your life, right? That's why you get married. So that's why it's declining. Why would you get married if you want to have just one partner when you can have multiple?
Marriage is stupid.
Welcome to the Married AF podcast, the self-proclaimed greatest marriage and relationship podcast in the world. I'm Matthew. You're Monica. We are back for episode 2 of the Q&A from our small group. Following up from last week where we did Q&A from our small group that just wrapped up, and figured if people are asking these questions to us in a small group, they may be asking these questions all over the world and all the different places all over the place that people are listening to us. So just what's happening in Shelby County, Alabama could be happening anywhere else in the world. So we figured, why not open this up and talk to everyone about this?
Did you say it like that because our son just watched Forrest Gump?
Yes, and he's been all about Forrest Gump, and especially Lieutenant Dan.
Oh man!
Lately, one hilarious takeaway that I told you about, but it's just too funny for me not to share, of Cash's takeaway from Forrest Gump. He watched this. He was homesick from school with some sort of virus, and I was working from home that day because you were at the school. And he's watching Forrest Gump, and like 2/3 of the way through, closer to the end, he says, "Dad," I'm like, "Yeah, bud." He said, "I just got to say, Jenny's a horrible person." Like, just horrible. All Forrest does is love her, and he takes care of her and will do anything for her. And she's just there, and she just leaves him all the time and doesn't care anything. She's just a terrible person. It's like, yeah.
He's dead on.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But he loved the movie. So yeah, Greenbow, Alabama. That's all I can think about with that. So, but yeah, we thought, if people are asking these questions here to us in a more personal setting, this could be something that could be helpful to people. So we figured let's answer them here as well. You've got the questions.
Yep.
You've got the right answers. I'll chime in with something that's probably not accurate.
I don't know that I have right answers.
You have all the right answers.
You're sweet.
I love you. You want to start?
Okay.
Get going, baby.
All right. So these are a bit more on the physical side.
PG-13 and above?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready?
This is real marriage stuff, though. So, I mean, it has to be talked about. You can't not talk about this stuff just because it makes you uncomfortable. I mean, come on. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. My wife can sometimes come off as flirty. She means nothing by it. She's just very friendly. How can I make sure that does not come between us?
I feel like this is a little bit... Maybe she does mean something, but I don't know. Okay. My wife comes off as flirty. She means nothing by it.
It already says, how can we make sure this does not come between us?
Maybe it's beginning to, just a little bit.
Is he a bit jealous?
Listen, I think maybe a little bit. And yeah, there can be some jealousy there for sure. Especially if there's any insecurities in your relationship at all, or past hurts, or any past indiscretion. I should say that could elevate jealousy like through the freaking roof. So she comes off a little flirty.
That's something that needs to be talked about, with communication.
Yes, well, shocker. Look at that. Another communication things. If only people would actually speak to one another. But if this is something that bothers you or that you recognize, let's just say it is innocent. She's just overly friendly. She's an extrovert. She's just out there, enjoys conversation with people, engages with conversation with people, openly talks to anyone and everyone, and laughs, and that could clearly come off as flirty to some people.
Did you just describe me to make people go, that's just who my wife is. She's not flirting with you.
No. I mean, that is, I mean, in a sense, that is you.
I feel that you just described me
Well,
and exposed me to everyone.
Well, I mean, maybe I did a little bit. Okay. You are very friendly, happy to talk to anybody, love engaging with conversation with people because you like to talk to people and get to know who people are. You laugh at their jokes. You're very funny and you're able to let people feel at peace and at ease whenever you're around. And it's an amazing quality to have. And yes, there are bozos out there who could say, oh my God, she wants me. But all you're doing is just having a conversation with someone and being kind and just taking interest in somebody because you care about people. Now, for us, no effect whatsoever because I know you mean absolutely nothing by it. And I can
you won't know if I'm flirting with you.
And I can look at something and be like, oh, this poor guy has no idea. And no,
I'm the same way when that happens to you.
And listen, as bad as a flirt as I am, because you've mentioned that before.
You don't know how to flirt.
I'm the word. I'm like Ross from Friends whenever he was trying to flirt with the pizza girl. You remember how awful that was? I'm just like that. And somehow I nabbed an absolute 10 you with all inability to flirt. Does not exist in my body. But I know, even having no flirting ability in my body, I know exactly when you're flirting. I know exactly how your voice is, how your face looks,
Really?
what your smile looks like, what you do with your hands, how you may touch, I can, if you were to go flirt, I could tell within 5 seconds, like, oh, she's flirting. Take no time at all for me to be able to recognize that because
Well, that's
I know
good
you.
to know.
I know you that well.
Maybe I should test you.
Maybe you should test
I'm
me
not.
and see. I know that'd be very, very weird.
Gross.
Yeah,
I don't
no
know.
thanks. But I could tell very, very quickly,
Yeah.
very, very easily if that were happening because I do
Well,
know
now
you so well.
put yourself in this guy's situation. How would you feel if you witness this? You know how I'm flirty, because I guess I do that with you.
I would say this, just knowing, and this is for us, and again, it's going to be different for everybody. If I saw you flirting, because I know exactly what that looks like, and you touch, and you just kind of, I know what that looks like because you do that to me, and I love it so much. But if I saw that, I would pull you aside real quickly and just I would get alone, want to have a conversation alone, not make a big stink out of it, but just, hey, I noticed this. What am I doing or not doing that may cause you to feel the need to be able to, so that you have to do that? What am I
That's good.
doing? Because clearly, and this is for you and I.
But you also would need to let me know how that made you feel.
Yes, I most certainly
Not
would.
ask me what am I not doing to make you have to do this.
Yes, that hey, I noticed you were flirting. It was very, very obvious to me, and it made me feel jealous, very insecure. I did not like it, but I know that I had to have played a part in you doing that. So let's talk about that. What was that? Because just knowing us, that's exactly the situation that it would be.
Well, what if she does not know that's what she's doing?
Then you need to set a clear boundary of,
You need to video this so she can see it.
hey, baby, when we get home, we need to watch some tape and get the pointer out and point the whole thing out. And that's what
Serious replays on.
that's what
TV.
needs to happen in this situation. But no, I think if she doesn't know what's happening, and
She has to know, right? Because the question literally says, the last part of it, how can we make sure that this does not come between us?
well, if she does, that's a whole nother circumstance. That's a deeper conversation.
And it also says she is just very friendly.
And let's take it for what it is. Let's say
it seems like it's bothering him more than
it is. Let's say she is like you because you are very friendly, as all the things I mentioned before, and that bothers him, and he sees it to possibly come off as flirty. I think just making her aware of, hey, just want to let you know that dude totally thinks you're into him, and here's the reasons why. And she may say, "Oh my God, I had no idea."
She might not have known.
And
honestly, that happens, but it's not to me. But it's not like I'm not a flirt
no, you're not.
because I can talk sports with
Oh, totally,
anybody.
easily.
and that is an easy conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
And for a guy to be able to talk to a female that's giving him attention and making eye contact, talking about something that he's passionate about, and this chick likes sports. Whoa.
Yeah. It's like, holy smokes, I hit the jackpot with this one.
Exactly.
No, totally.
So if there's something that she might be doing with the conversation that is just something that she, like me talking, just, I mean, I have more guys that I talk to than females, essentially, because maybe I don't necessarily have that much.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say, don't take it the wrong way, but you already know this. A lot of women are intimidated by you.
And I don't understand that.
Well, you walk into a room and you exude so much confidence. And it's not like you're trying to. It's just, that's who you are. You're very comfortable with who you are. You're very confident in who you are, that you are exactly who you are supposed to be in every situation. You do not waver, no matter what the circumstance is or where you are.
Or how bad my hair is that day.
Or how bad your hair is.
Like this lipstick I'm currently wearing, I hate it.
God, I love it so much. You look incredible. You should wear it more often. But it doesn't matter where you are.
I feel like it's all on my teeth right now.
I promise it's not.
Okay, good.
Wherever you are, you're the same person everywhere. You and I on a podcast, you and I sitting on the couch watching TV, in a car ride, at church, at school, at the ballpark, at the grocery store, on a trip, where you are the exact same person everywhere that you are. So that puts off a lot of confidence to people, especially whenever they see that. Like, well, she's the same person here that she was there. Holy smokes, how can she do that? Because most people can't. They compartmentalize every little aspect of their life or their life. Like, I've got to be work version of me, and I get to be at home version of me, and I get to be church version of me, and I got to be coach person version of me, and it's all different versions, and you're just authentic to who you are.
I guess I didn't really realize that that's a problem.
It's not a problem. It's a great thing. It's just not many people are able to do that.
That the things that I do are a problem that other people have to put on a mask to be different people, and maybe that's what this wife is doing.
Maybe so. It's
and
very possible.
She doesn't know any different because that's who she is when she's around certain people.
There's a billion different scenarios that could play out with this, but if we just take it for what it is, she's extremely friendly. She's like you are, but it can come off as flirty to some people. You just need to let her know that that's happening, and if it is truly innocent and she has no clue, she's probably going to be a little embarrassed about it and say, hey, if you notice this, please let me know. Please help me be aware of what it is that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you would totally come straight to me and go, that was a little awkward. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. And don't run up like, are you sleeping with him?
Oh, my God.
I mean, because that's how some people would react to that. Yeah, don't do that. That's not healthy at all. No. You just say, hey, this is what I noticed. And as your spouse, I thought you should know.
It's the perfect way to do it. Those are the perfect words.
Look at that.
All right, moving on. The next question. This sex menu is amazing.
Thank you. It is incredible.
How did you come up with this?
We stole it.
If you don't want your content stolen, don't put it on social media.
That's one of the great things.
Or speak about it at a conference.
And that's one. I will say that's one great thing about most churches and conferences, and this is no different. Steal all the material that you want, because it's not our material. It's not for
everybody
us.
Needs to hear these
It's
things.
for everyone. And I've heard many people say, plagiarize it all you want. It needs to be heard by the masses. And if you can take it,
they're not just going to be heard at that one location.
And if you can take it and make someone else's life better, in this case, improve someone's marriage, take it, please take it, explain it, let them use it. That's perfect. So, we heard it at a conference and kind of ran with it from there, because it's, we just thought it was a great idea. A great idea to be able to get conversations going about sex, because it's very difficult for people to be able to do that. And it's a fun, easy way to let the guard down and be able to explore things with each other.
Okay, so there's more to this question.
Okay.
It might be a little awkward because it kind of sounds like they're interested in our sex life. Okay.
That made you like straight up giggle.
Okay. Have you ever had to where one of you really wanted something but the other did not? How did you handle that? So they're obviously expecting us to one of us to do something that the other doesn't like and want to know how we handled it.
All right. Well, I will say, I'm gonna assume here that there may be
You know what
challenge.
happens when you assume?
Well, I
Matthew
know, and that
Bowers?
may very well happen here. I'm going to assume that maybe one of them is experiencing this right now, and saying, because we've always said, hey, we've lived quite a life, and gone through some stuff, and if anyone's if going through something, we've probably experienced it in some way, shape, or form, and seen it and experienced that for ourselves. So maybe that's where this is coming from. But let's just say that one of them wants something, the other one is a hard no with it. And our stance has always been, if you are not harming yourself or the other, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that, and not bringing someone else into the bedroom, it's fair game. Go nuts, have fun, experiment, enjoy. To answer this question, not much help, because the answer is no. Have not had anything where the other was like a hard pass, hard no. Now we have hard set boundaries. We've used the menu in a sense to say, yep, this works. Tried it, not so great, and gone from there. So how to be able to handle when the other is against it? I can't speak from personal experience there. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, your thoughts?
Well, if you're trying something, I mean, think of it as an experiment.
It is.
Keep what did work with whatever you tried, and maybe try something different to compensate.
Yes, I would say always just go back to kind of our original rules of what we set into place. We're not physically, mentally, or emotionally harming ourselves, the other. There's no other person that comes into the picture, and everything else is open. And I've always used the goofy example where, listen, if my wife says I need you swinging up and down from upside down from the ceiling, playing an air guitar, doing this and this and this and this, and I think it's crazy and psychotic, you know what? It's not harming me physically, mentally, emotionally, not harming her, and there's no other human being involved. You know, I'm at least going to give her that. And
I'm not into air guitar, just
okay.
so we're clear.
All right, air drums then. I'm just saying. But if that were a desire, you know what? I may say, that's an odd one. But okay, baby, your wish is my command. Make it happen, and we'll see what happens. You may never know. You may thought that was crazy and say, you know what? I love swinging upside down, playing air drums. Who would have ever thought?
Tommy Lee.
But exactly, he most certainly does. He's playing the real drums. That was really good. But I would say, listen, those are the set rules for us, and it has worked absolute wonders for us. So if they want to try it, give it a shot. No matter what you think about it, give it a shot.
Okay, so you said something that just hits the next question that I have.
All right.
I know sex in a marriage is important, but can it ever become sinful?
Okay. Explain.
There's more to this question.
Okay.
I'm not asking about masturbation or sex with other people.
Okay.
Just direct sex between husband and wife. If there is at any point where the sex between husband and wife can become sinful, for example, the use of sex toys, using porn during sex, could that be considered wrong? What about the things that are said during sex? Like the dirty talking.
Okay. Can sex become
That's a lot.
sinful? That's a whole lot to digest right there. Okay.
But when you said bringing other people in,
yes.
that made me think of this question strictly because of the porn.
Yes, and that's the only section of that where I would say, yeah, it's a hard pass. Because for me, you bring porn, and porn ruins everything. But you're going
to kill all the expectations.
You are, but you bring porn into your marriage, you're essentially beginning to lust after someone else. You just are. I mean, that's what it is. So I would say, can it become sinful? With the exception of porn, No. Now, if you allow it to be and it becomes something that you begin to idolize, then yeah, sure, it most certainly
Absolutely.
can.
Well, you are whatever you worship.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you begin to worship that and idol that, then yeah, that's a problem.
It's going to take you down a very dark road.
But we got to remember, sex between a husband and a wife, it was created by God. It is incredible. It is to bring connection to you two. And listen, as wild and crazy as you want to get, that's something you two can share together, and you're the only people who share that. That's one of the beauties of this, is you are the only two people ever who get to share that type of connection and that type of experience. So can it become sinful? I don't think so. Now, I remember us talking about this question in our small group. There was an addition that someone who didn't do this question added, what about the dirty talk? But I get dirty talk is fine if it's just between you and your spouse, but what if you start cussing in this certain time? What if you just yell out the big... Whatever that may look like. Yes, with cussing, and you went right to my favorite thing in the world, what Thor says. It's a made-up word. Well, all words are made up.
All words are made up.
And there are...
It's just all in the content of how you're...
There's a lot of it in the content of... or the context in which you're using said word.
Yeah, and if you're dropping the F-bomb while you're doing the F-bomb, I mean, it's exactly what it means.
It does. But ultimately, I mean, how do you determine what words are cuss words? Because any word, if you use it in a negative manner, can be seen as a bad, dirty word. Mm-hmm. Whatever that may look like. Fart.
I was not allowed to say fart when I was growing up because that is a very bad word.
Very, very, very bad word.
I could not even say the word freaking.
Yes, I know.
Because it was a very bad word.
Very bad word. So who determines what those bad words are? I think we do. Again, this is a conversation between you and your spouse. And again, the context in which it is being used matters tremendously in this manner.
Now, I know with different generations, words change. Like we said freaking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's some people still use it. Sure.
They do.
But now the big thing for our kids is frick.
Frick. And a part of me is like, just if you're going to do it, just say it.
Just say the dang word.
Because you're saying, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're saying. So again, that's an instance of, this is the context in which you're using it. Just say the dadgum word then already. All right? Yeah, I mean, they've changed the way. We got Skibbity Ohios and toilets and Rizzlers and Phantom. I don't know what the kids are saying these days. That makes me sound so old.
Wow, you just aged yourself.
Oh my gosh, am I 80? Get off my lawn.
You're halfway there, baby.
Wow. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Well, at least you still desire me.
I do. Now, next question. You ready?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm worried the sex is becoming more physical than connecting intimately or emotionally, if that's even a concern. How would you recommend to increase our intimacy and emotional connection during sex?
This is a female question all day long.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt in my mind, which I get.
That's why guys turn you around and don't even need to look at your face.
Wow. You're not wrong, though. You just went there.
I just needed to see the look on your face. It was great.
You totally just went there.
You did not expect that one.
I was not expecting that at all. Holy smokes.
You're welcome.
But you're not wrong. I mean...
And that is how guys try to take emotions out of sex.
Yes.
Even though it cannot be done. I don't care what anybody says. It cannot be done. There's got to be a reason that you two connected in the first place to be able to hook up.
Yeah, there was some sort of emotional type connection there before the physical ever happened. Yeah, the people who say, oh, well, it's just sex, it's just so I could get mine. No, there's more to it than that. You just don't want to admit that. I do see where sex can become just a physical act rather than the emotional side of it. When that happens, you need to have the conversation about it clearly. Men, you have to remember that sex begins way before the sex begins. When it comes to your wife, I mean, you can make it more. You can make it about the emotional connection before you get into the bedroom. And I think just being intentional about that and being aware of that, and it's going to lead to better sex rather than, as you said, just turn her around and that's that. You're not going to have that. It's going to be much more intimate.
Yes.
I think that may be what I'm kind of getting out of that is it seems like the intimacy is taken away. And this is just let me
Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Let me get off, be done. And that's it. And that's the only thought.
But there are people now that just want to have as many partners as they possibly can with sex. It's now called body count. What's your count? What's your body count? You got more body counts than blah, blah, blah. That's the new insult.
I see what you're saying there.
And what did I see not too long ago? I think I told you about this, that there was a girl who now holds the record for having sex with, I think it was 100
Yes, you told me about this.
In one day.
That's so gross.
Disgusting.
And you say they
only her,
but those dudes.
baby, you shared all them other penises.
Yeah, you did. Every one of them. I mean, being guy 100 in that mix. Ugh.
You willingly committed to putting your name on a record
Of that.
I was one of the 100 guys that had sex with
I
one
was
chick.
number 100. How cool is that? Well, one thing you said with that is there's this want to sleep with as many people as possible. I think that's the perception. I don't think that's real. I don't think that it is a true want to have sex with as many people as possible and increase your body count.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what is put out there and led people to believe that. It shows me that there is a deep, deep hole of trying to feel fulfillment in your life.
Well, Russell Brand had this girl on his podcast, and he was very open about his past, about how he would just want to have sex with anybody and everybody that would have sex with him. And this is kind of how her record was. But now he has changed his life around. He is strictly living for Jesus and his family too, which is really cool. Big Al the Snow fan. So
huge.
When we saw that, it was, this is so awesome, you know? So having her on the show, she's not religious. She's never had any kind of thing. Imagine that. And he told her he wanted her to know that God loves her and that she is a child of God and that she is loved, because he could obviously see this child of God needs serious love.
Yes.
She has no self-worth.
And how huge.
It's so sad.
It is. How big of him to show who Jesus truly is through that, and saying, hey, just regardless of what you decide to do and how you're going to live your life, I just need you to know God loves you. And, this wasn't necessarily what he planned for you, but he still loves you so, so, so much. And there's more beyond it. But that's when you talk about that, that's what I see. Someone who is just desperately trying to fill the void that they have in their life. It's the sinful chase of happiness. And I'm going to have sex with as many people as I possibly can. Oh, it's enjoyable. That was so much fun. God, that was so good. But the next day I'm not fulfilled anymore, and I still feel empty inside, and I need more.
I couldn't imagine.
No.
Especially if there's children involved in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the next question. This might be one of our last questions. How do you make time for yourselves after kids? It feels like we are never alone.
Yep, absolutely. When they're young, especially, and to toddlers, totally agree with that.
When they are not self-sufficient or you have not been able to domesticate them.
Yes, no, I totally agree with that.
Thank you, 2020. That's what I did.
It worked too.
Great that year.
I told you, I'm convinced our children could survive on their own for 10 to 14 days.
Easy.
No problem at all. As long as there's food in the house, they could survive. No problem. Yeah, you have to make time. I mean, how do you make time for yourselves? You have to make time.
Yep.
No matter what that looks like. And it can be when they nap.
Right. I was about to say, most of the time people say, when they sleep, you sleep. No, sister, you get them kids to bed. You put that sexy outfit on. I don't care if it's just 5 minutes. I mean,
it's time together.
Yeah.
No, I agree. You know, hey, send your husband a little text message. Hey, I need you to go get the kid to bed, and I'll be waiting for you. Are you kidding me? You want him to stop everything he's doing and just run to put the kid to bed? Because he's so longing and looking for that. Mm-hmm. But you have to. I mean, you have to just make a decision. I'm going to make time for my spouse, no matter what. And yes, whether they're taking a nap before they wake up, after they go to bed, or if you're fortunate enough to let them spend the night somewhere with a relative or your parents or somebody or a very, very close friend, or just babysit, them for a little while, but use that time to be intentional and not, the baby's asleep, I can finally play video games. Oh, the baby's asleep, I can finally read my book, or I can finally scroll
TikTok.
My social media, whatever that looks like. No, reserve that time for your spouse and make that time. And then as they get older, it does become much easier, and you're even more look forward to that time that you have together and how important that it is.
But don't push them away all the time.
No.
So you can go and have a raunchy little night.
No, don't do that.
That's not worth it.
No, it's not.
Cheat on your spouse, that kind of thing.
No, yeah, definitely not. Your spouse, you have to remember your spouse is number one, the clear number one. So you have to make the decision to make time together.
Those kids will grow up and move out.
Yes. And then you'll have all the time in the world with your spouse.
As long as you've made time for your spouse.
Totally agree. Do we have any more?
I'm good.
That's it?
I'm out.
You're done. No more thoughts.
Sorry.
That's good. Let's end it. Let's go. God, we love you so much. We are so thankful for what you're doing. We're thankful for this. We're thankful for questions. We're thankful for open conversations. It's the most important thing that we can do when we're talking about our relationships, is to just ask questions and be honest and be open and not think that we have to have it all together. And God, I just pray that you bring those conversations to light. We're always here for them. And if you bring more to us, we welcome that and we enjoy that, and just want to be able to speak wisdom through our experiences that you've given us to other people, just so they can know you better and know their spouse better, and just have the marriages that they are meant to have the way you created them. And they're the greatest thing in the world. And we're thankful for ours. I'm thankful for this amazing woman next to me. Could not imagine doing life or this without her. So thank you, thank you, thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Play ball. I still say you should have read a book.